Hola, my name is Mariam El Jassim, and today I will be talking about Paraguay Asuncion. The meaning of the flag. In 1812, the Paraguayan tricolor flag was raised for the first time as it is today, with the three stripes of equal size. It is called the first flag of the Republic because it was not until the ordinary General Congress held that year that Paraguay declared a republican government, leaving behind its past as a Spanish province. Every August 14, the Flag Day is celebrated throughout Paraguay, one of the most representative symbols of our patriotic sentiments. The standard, enforced since November 1842, is the only one in the world with two different shields on the front and back. As you can see, red symbolizes patriotism, courage, equality, and justice. White symbolizes purity, unity, and peace. Blue symbolizes love, knowledge, truth, and freedom. General introduction. Paraguay is a sovereign and landlocked country located in South America, bordered to the north by Bolivia, to the west by Argentina, to the east by Brazil, and south with both mentioned Argentina and Brazil. There are 17 states and the capital, La Asuncion, and it covers around 406.752 kilometers, being the fifth smallest country in South America. The Paraguayan constitution declares it is a multicultural and bilingual country, establishing Spanish and Guarani as official languages, with 79% of people who speak Spanish as their first language, and 20% have Guarani as their first language. General aspects of the country. Currently, in 2021, the population is around 7,353,038, distributed in 50.4% of men and 49.6% of women, with a life expectancy at birth in 2021. For women, it is 77.9 years, and for men, it is 72 years. In 2021, the number of deaths per 1,000 citizens is 5.7 and will remain around this level until 2024. The Central Department is the most populated in the country that added to the population of Asuncion. It accounts for 38% of the total population, that is 2,764,893. La Asuncion is founded in 1537. They call it the Mother of Cities, which is located at the south of the country. Multiculturalism makes La Asuncion a peculiar and different state in continuous evolution with autochthonous populations of five linguistic families, prevailing the Guarani, with the presence of immigrants from various countries of the world, contributed to the first Spanish-Guarani mixture and extraordinary richness in the cultural manifestations. When touring the city, the visitor will notice a mixture of three very different architectural styles: the colonial style, which is present in the oldest houses and buildings in the city center; the Italianate style of the first public buildings and the first mansions with beautiful gardens; and the modern Latin American architecture with large shopping centers side by side with residential houses. Touristic destinations. Number one, Cathedral of Our Lady of the Assumption. Asuncion is not part of the main South American tourist route since it lacks great attractions that could attract visitors. However, those who visited discover an authentic Latin American city that has managed to maintain a calm and provincial atmosphere while preserving interesting monuments of its rich history and its colonial past. The Metropolitan Cathedral of Asuncion is the main Catholic temple in Asuncion. It is the cathedral neighborhood in the historic center of the capital of Paraguay. It was the first diocese of the Rio de la Plata. It has a main altar covered in silver and the current high pontiff of the Catholic Church, Pope Francis, has celebrated a mass in this cathedral. Touristic destinations number 2, House of Independence. The Independence House Museum in Asuncíon, Paraguay was inaugurated on May 14, 1965, which is located on the corner of Presidente Franco and 14 de Mayo streets. Its marked colonial style stands out. This house has a historical importance since the main protagonists of the country's independence used it as a secret meeting place. Its museum is restored and enriched with furniture, paintings, and portraits and furnishings of the time. Visiting it is a rewarding experience, especially for anyone who wants to feel and learn about the historical legacy of such a valuable national heritage. Touristic destinations number 3, Botanical Garden and Zoo of Asuncion. The Botanical and Zoo Garden is one of the main lungs of Asuncion since it has 275 hectares of natural forest. In this place, there are several medium-sized animals. The zoo is home to almost 70 species of wild animals, including birds, mammals, and reptiles. Most of them represent the South American fauna. The Botanical Garden is home to native species, and its main wealth lies in the variety and beauty of its lush trees. This extensive property was the country house of Carlos Antonio Lopez, president of Paraguay between 1842 and 1862. In 1896, Lopez's descendants sold the botanical garden to the Agricola Bank. The garden was created as such in 1919, being its founders the German scientists Carlos Friebing and Anna Gertz. The zoo was also created later by the same scientists with very advanced criteria for the time by conceiving the life of animals in environmental as similar as possible to their natural habitats. Touristic destinations number 4, Sierra Lambare. Sierra Lambare is an elevation or mound that is located on the banks of the Paraguay River. Recommended, a beautiful place where you can see how green the city and all its neighborhoods are, as well as the confluence of the Paraguay River and the Pilcomayo River. At the top of the hill is the monument to Victoria's Peace, a viewpoint inspired by the Valley of the Fallen. Guarani language. Guarani is a language of the Tupi Guarani family spoken by approximately 6.5 million people in the southern cone of America, Argentina, Brazil, Bolivia, Uruguay, and Paraguay, including the Guarani speakers and those who use it as a second language. Guarani became a written language relatively recently. Therefore, most Guarani speakers only know how to speak orally the language. Few know how to read or write it correctly in the current writing system, which is taught by the Paraguayan Ministry of Education since the end of the last century. The impact of the Guarani language. In 2006, it became the official language of Mercosur along with Spanish and Portuguese. As of 2010, the Academy of the Guarani language was created, which is responsible for ensuring its preservation and evolution, and the law of languages was enhanced. It was not until 2015 when the president of the Paraguayan government decided to draft the first official decree in Guarani. However, despite the advances in preserving and increasing the status of the language, the Guarani language is threatened due to insufficient government efforts to promote the language in the upper social and official strata. It is also due to the advancement of public education taught mainly in Spanish, the effects of urbanization and access to new technologies such as the internet, cell phones, television, among others, which promote the massification of Spanish, especially in the new generations raised in the urban areas. Here are some questions. In your opinion, what are the most attractive destinations in La Asuncion? In your opinion, what are the positive impacts of learning Guarani as a second language? What are the countries with which Paraguay borders? What can the Paraguayan government do to preserve and develop the Guarani language? How much is the current population of Paraguay and how is it distributed? Here are my references. Mucho gracias. Adiós.